Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be my monthly update for the Panners Pan. This project was created by Elizabeth, who is Shiny Happy Pans over on Instagram, and the concept of this project was to shout out other project panners that we love. And the original premise was to start with 10 products and relate them to different project panners, and it's rolling and it never ends. We could set whatever goal we wanted on the product, but this project never ends, according to Elizabeth, which would be a first in the history of project panning. A lot of people have ended their project. I don't know when exactly I will end mine, but I have been doing this forever. It's been going on a long time, and I changed the project up a little bit, of course, by making it a progressive. So every month, whether I meet my goal on a product or not, I roll in a new product for a new project panner. I am up to 23 products in this project. That seems like a lot, but I have done projects with more products. 50 Shades of Purple had 50 products. 2020 Vision Project Pan had 40 products. And I do Beauty A to Z every year, and that has 26 products. So 23 isn't that much when you think of it that way. I'm happy to report the number is not going to go up today because I did finally meet my goal on one item in this project that I've been working on forever. Since there are so many items in this project, I try to pick 3 focus items every month to give a little bit more attention to than the rest, to make sure that at least I'm focused on something. Sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't, as you will see. But the item that I met my goal on was a focus product. So in that case, it did work out. That item is my Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. I could cry. I have been working on the matte shade, the matte corally shade in this palette for months and months and months. And I finally have the tiniest baby pan. I would like to use it a couple more times to expand the pan just a little bit, but I don't know if I could do that right now. Like, I just need to move on to the next thing because this has taken up so much time. I probably could have finished my baby pan that palette by now. I probably could have finished off another shadow in my e.l.f. 100 pan palette by now, but I've just been working on this peach shade forever. Basically every day for the last 3 months at least, and off and on before that. It just felt like it wouldn't end. I think at last month's update I mentioned that I've never hit pan on a Too Faced shadow before, but one of you guys reminded me that I have hit pan in a Too Faced shadow that came from the Life's a Festival palette. So this is my second Too Faced shadow that I've hit pan on, but this one was definitely more tricky than the Life's a Festival. This one's a matte and the Life's a Festival is a shimmer shade. I don't know if that had something to do with it, but this one was work. It was a lot of work to get that little speck of pan showing. And more so than anything, because we are well into fall and I'm ready for more fall looks. Not that my shirt would give that away. I'm wearing pastel aqua, I know, but it's very cold in here today and I just wanted to be warm. However, I'm ready to move into more fall eye looks, and this is definitely not a fall color, although I feel like I was able to make it work as best as I could. I'm so glad to have this rolling out of this project. By the way, this shadow was in here for Elizabeth with an S. Elizabeth and I collaborated together for years on a Shopping Our Stash collab where we chose a different color. And our very first collab was on the Pantone color of the year, which was something coral. Can't think of it off the top of my head. Nope, it's gone. That's the way my mind works these days. But that was for Blooming Coral? No, that can't be right. Whatever it was. We did the color coral for the Pantone color of the year as our first video in that series. So let's talk about the other 2 items that were in my focus group of products. There's not much to talk about. The first product was this Maybelline Color Tattoo in Fool's Gold. I have this in this project for Rebecca Morgan and Jocelyn Claire. I did use this once or twice, but not as much as I was imagining. I thought I would get a few more uses in, but at least I got a couple uses. It's not much, but hopefully next month I'll get some more use out of it. I don't know. Now that I've hit pan in that coral shade, the whole world has opened up to a huge amount of possibility, and I'm very excited to think about where the next month will take me. But I think I only used that shadow once or twice. The other focus product did not get any uses, and that is my Colored Rain Safari Rain palette. My goal is to do a no pan left behind challenge with this palette, meaning 9 looks, each look focusing on one of the different shadows in this palette. And this is in here for Kitsch Snitch, who is Cat. And I didn't get a chance to use this at all. And the reason is because I just hit pan on that peach shade 2 days ago. So I've been wearing that peach eyeshadow every day for the last month. And I didn't really feel like that peach eyeshadow really went with any of these shadows. I don't want to have any restrictions when I dig into this palette. I just want to be able to use this palette exclusively or add in whatever other shadows I want to add in, not have to find a way to make it work with the peach shade. Like sometimes you got to do it, but I didn't want to do that for this. So I need to use this 9 times. I've used it 0 times. Okay, so obviously there are 20 more items that are rolling over for another month. I'll remind you of what they are and who they're in here for, and we'll talk about whether I use them or not, because I bet there's some I didn't use at all. First is my ColourPop BFF lip liner that I have in this project for Elizabeth with a Z, the creator of this project, and I do not have a new mark to make on it. I don't know if I used it at all or not. I would guess not. Next is my lip gloss in Curvy from ColourPop. This is in here for Chic Geek. And again, I think I might have used it once, but I didn't really focus in on this over the past month. What have I been putting on my lips? The peach. I've been wearing the same lipstick too. I've been panning a lipstick. I've been panning that peach eyeshadow. I've been on repeat for a long time. So there hasn't been a lot of variety going on in my makeup looks. I haven't felt like doing a get ready with me because I'm just doing the same look every day. Next is the shade Halo from Looksy Beauty. My goal is to hit pan on this shadow, and this shadow's in this project for Alejandra Lisette, aka Alex. Haven't touched it. Next is my eyeliner from Jante Blue in the shade Electric Blue. This is in here for Alexi. Again, I doubt I've used it at all. Maybe once. Next is my Lancome Juicy Tubes in the shade Desert. This is in here for Linda from Linda Loves Life. I don't know how many times I used this, but it's not many. I would say less than 5. I'm really focusing in on 2 other lip products. I like to use this in the morning and the night after I brush my teeth, and there are 2 other lip products that I am prioritizing over this one at the moment. So I think I might have used it a couple times, but not much. I'm telling you, these products have really been getting ignored. A lot of them have. Next is my Don't Flutter Yourself highlighter blush from Wet n Wild. This is in here for Rania. And my goal is to have the hummingbird disappear. It's still there. I've been focusing in on the same highlighter all month long. Oh my gosh, you guys, you don't even know. For somebody like me who likes to change up their eye looks like every 2 days, their makeup look every couple of days, this has been a real challenge, and I am so boring these days, but I am making progress, so it is worth it. But it has been a challenge, and I'm really, when I do these updates, it really makes it obvious that I have really been sticking to the same look day in and day out, because this isn't the most positive update. Next is Rakugian from NARS. This is in here for Rebecca S. from Panning and Stuff. I don't know if I've used this or not. I would have to say no. I don't think I have. Next is my Maybelline lipstick in Warm Me Up for Christina Chang. I have used this. I used it once, maybe twice, but I did use this, and I was so proud of myself that I finally used this, because this lipstick really does not get used a lot, but no new marks to make with just one use, but at least I used it once. I really like the color a lot. It's a beautiful shade. Just have too many lip products I'm working on. All right, next is my ColourPop and My Little Pony collab palette. There are 2 pans of eyeshadow that I'm trying to hit pan on, and they are for 2 different project panners. The first one is for Beth from Beth's Makeup Diary. This is the shade here called Flutterby. And my Goal is to hit pan. I am wearing that shade today throughout my crease, but there's no pan yet. And the other one is this one up here, which is called Blossom. And that is in this project for Courtney, who is Triggy3. I really wish she'd come back to making videos on YouTube. I miss her spunky little personality. But yeah, I don't think I used that one at all this past month. Next is another Wet n Wild highlighter. This is Purple Ashes. I have this in this project for Kana. Kana changed her name. It's not Kana's Closet anymore. I can't think of what it's called. Kana's Vanity? Kana's Makeup Vanity? I will leave it on the screen somewhere. But my goal is to hit pan on this product, and I have not done that yet. And I don't think I've used that highlighter once in the past month. Again, been very focused. Okay, next is my ABH and Mario palette. I am trying to hit pan on this shade here called Isabel, and that is in here for Chanrel from Chanrel Stash. Don't think I've used that one at all. It's not a think, it's a no. I know I haven't used that one at all. I haven't touched anything. I haven't touched anything at all. And next is my Nubian 2 by Juvia's Place, which is in here for Tori. I'm trying to hit pan on this shade Sheba. Haven't touched it. I do like to pair this with the ABH and Mario palette, so hopefully I'll get a couple uses in on that this next month. I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I think for this next month, I'm going to end up just using all the eyeshadows that have been in projects that have been getting ignored and not really try to focus in on one shadow. Like, I've been so focused in on that coral shade for months that I just really need to play around and enjoy all the other eyeshadows that are in projects. A lot of them are in this project that have been getting the shaft. And then maybe in November I can buckle down on my Pan That palette, but we'll see about that. Okay, finally, a product that I've used. Finally, my Rose blush from American Beauty that is in this project for Rose. And I use this all the time. All the time. I'm wearing it today. It's beautiful. I like it very, very much. It's going to take me forever to hit pan. I do focus my brush right in this area, and I feel like it might be slightly more shallow than the other side. Gorgeous blush. It's just going to take me a long time to hit pan on it, I suspect. Next is my Marc Jacobs High Shine Hydrating Lip Gloss Stick. Hydrating Lip Gloss Stick from Marc Jacobs in Wet Your Lips. This is in this project for Tanya, who is Irreverent Beauty. I did use this a couple of times, once or twice. I think twice. I have no idea how much product is in here. I have no way of measuring it. Once you twist up, you cannot twist back down. But I'm guessing we got a ways to go on that one. For Metropolitan Creole, I have my Fenty Beauty lipstick in Candy Venom. I absolutely love this lipstick. I know I used it at least once in the past month, but maybe only once. My goal is to get to 20 uses, and I'm currently at 9. Oh my gosh. Isn't that the most amazing color ever? I just love this color so much. So 11 more uses of that one before it rolls out of this project. For Jessica, who is Lena7623, I have my Steel Up Smudge Pot, Shadow Pot in Amber. And my goal is to use this 30 times, and I haven't touched this even once in the past month. It actually looks very similar to the shade I have on my eyelid today, which comes from my Too Faced Razzle Dazzle Berry palette. I think once I finally hit pan in that palette, I will focus in on this one a little bit more, but I kind of feel like they're doing basically the same thing. I should really do a side-by-side swatch of them at some point, but I feel like they're so similar. But my goal is to use that 30 times, and I'm still at 2. For Sandra, who is Highlights the Limit, I have a highlighter. Another Wet n Wild highlighter. This is Blossom Glow. My goal is to hit pan on it, and I have not touched it. And none of these highlighters are going to be touched until Laura Mercier Highlight in 01 is finished. But once that's gone, I think this is going to definitely be a go-to for me. Out of all the highlighters I have in a project right now, this is the one I'm the most attracted to, and I think it'll be the easiest to hit pan on. For Verity, who is Red Dirt and Stardust, I have a shadow from my Heavy Metals palette from Urban Decay. The shadow is called Acoustic, and it is a shade that reminded me so much of my ColourPop Couche, which I just have missed so much ever since I panned it. Here's Acoustic right here. I do use this quite often as an inner corner highlight. Either that or this kind of aqua shade that I'm trying to hit pan on are my two inner corner highlights. The negative is that there isn't a ton of shadow needed for an inner corner highlight. The positive is that typically the brush I use for an inner corner highlight is a little bit stiffer and a little bit smaller, and I can get a more directed access. It's not like I'm covering a huge amount of surface area. I'm kind of going in at the same place every time. So I do have like the slightest of dips starting. I don't even know if the camera will pick up on it, but my goal is to hit pan on it, and I'm nowhere near hitting pan. And finally, the last product rolling over for another month is for Taru, who is cruelty-free panner, and that is a set, this very old, it's not actually a set. One is Max Factor and one is CoverGirl, but it's basically the same idea, but it's just that liquid lipstick situation that CoverGirl and Max Factor have always had. And my goal is to use one of these up, whether it's this one or this one. And I haven't touched these yet since rolling it into this project 2 months ago. That's where I'm at with the balm. We've definitely hit colder weather this week. It has been like in the 80s and 90s and 100s nonstop until 2 days ago. And it dropped into the 50s like boom. It just came out of nowhere. None of us were ready for it. We're all miserable. We're all freezing. But the good news is that now that it's in the 50s, I'm much more interested in wearing these kind of vampy, cool tone shades. So hopefully I will start to get some use out of those now that, one, I'm not painting a coral eyeshadow again for the 100th time, and two, the weather is more fall appropriate. So now is the time that I'm going to roll in a new product for a new project panner. And the project panner that I want to focus on for this month is Jaylon, who is one, a member of the Fantastic Ladies and a moderator. Two, one of the two people who approached me after my Pan That palette suggestion last year was not chosen and offered to do the Better Together theme with me, regardless of what the Fantastic Ladies were doing, which was so sweet. And I really appreciated, to be honest, my plan was originally to just sit on that project idea for another year and resubmit it for next year. I didn't want to be disrespectful to the Fantastic Ladies by doing my project anyways, but because Jaylon and another project panner named LJ encouraged me so much, I went ahead and did the Better Together theme anyways. And I'm so glad I did, because so many other people joined in along the way, and it ended up being a nice group collab, regardless of the fact that it wasn't chosen by the Fantastic Ladies, who voted for the theme. They vote for the theme every year. So Jaylon is also the creator of many projects. And since we're in the month of October, I wanted to highlight one of her projects, which is Nightmare on Panning Street, which is coming back around for another year. And, you know, it's October, so it seemed like the perfect project and the perfect project panner to focus on for this month. The product I've chosen to go with that Nightmare on Panning Street actually would have fit several of the prompts that were outlined in that project. There's a whole bunch of prompts that you could choose related to different movies, but the prompt that I ended up choosing was for the Invisible Man. That prompt for the Invisible Man is something that erases. So it could be a concealer, a foundation, a powder. And the product I chose for Jaylon and the Nightmare on Panning Street and the Invisible Man is my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I have been like fantasizing about getting back to using this powder in a weird way. I really have missed using this. I remember loving it. I thought it was a really, really good under eye setting powder. And all this year, basically, I've been using like weird, random, unknown face powders, eyeshadows, just weird stuff as under eye setting powders. But this is what I've really wanted to work on this year. And I totally forgot until I turned it over that this must have been in a project before. I don't remember having this in a project. Maybe it was a Roulette Pan Collab, because there's 4 marks and that project usually lasted 4 months. So I guess I've already worked on this before, which is kind of surprising because this is the kind of product I don't want to use up. I want this to last forever. to be honest. And if I do use this up, I would probably repurchase it because I love it that much. But this is getting older. I've had it for a couple of years, and I would just like to enjoy it this season and see if I still love it as much as I remember loving it. The way I liked using it the most is applying it with a damp beauty blender and just kind of like blending it in on my under eyes. I don't bake with it, but I just use enough to, you know, set whatever creams and concealers I have on my under eyes and brighten a little bit. And I always thought it did a really good job brightening, and I would like to get back to this. So I guess this is my starting point because I probably haven't used it since whatever project this rolled out of. So that's where we're starting from. And I'm really excited to be working on this again for Jaylon. Alrighty, now is the time that I'm going to tell you what my 3 focus products are for this upcoming month. I've chosen them. 2 of them are going to be the rollovers that I barely touched at all. The Colored Rain Safari Rain palette. Again, I just need to use this 9 times and then it'll roll out of this project. I'd like to get a couple uses in this month, maybe 3 or 4, maybe even 5. I don't expect to get all the uses in this month because like I said, I'm going to be all over the map with my eyeshadow looks for the next 30 days, but I'd like to get a few uses in with this palette. Also, the Colored Tattoo Eye Base from Maybelline in Fool's Gold. I just think now is the best time of year to wear that kind of golden greeny shade. Plus I do have a shade in Project 10 Uses that would layer well over that. So I just need to get some more uses in on that. And then the third product I'm rolling in as a focus product for this month is we're back to NARS Rakugian again. I don't know if it's possible for me to use this up between now and the end of the year, but I would really like to try. It would be great to get this out before inventory time. And I am focusing in on a second lipstick as well, but I'd like to try and make at least noticeable progress. I'd like to make a new line on my sheet for next month. I forgot to mention it, but I do have a little bit of progress for this month. It's not much, but I would like to make more progress for next month and get one step closer to finishing this off. We'll see. We will see. It would be great to have that out before inventory time. I don't know if I can. So that is going to be it for this update. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.